Simpsons Game is an epic new story adventure from the writers of the TV show. This is the first game to really capture and deliver the true sort of look, feel, and spirit of The Simpsons. The Simpsons family goes on an adventure where they become aware of the fact that they've been licensed out to a video game, and this sort of Matrix-like storyline has them, literally breaking out of their Springfield, which turns out is just a video game, and it closely to the show in the sense that, you will see very familiar locations, you'll see all your favorite characters. Springfield, sort of virtual Springfield, is the hub world for the game, so you can wander around at your own pace and go into Moe's Tavern, and you're going to see Lenny and Carl and Burns and Barney and all your favorite characters. There's 8,000 lines of dialogue penned by the writers of the show. All the actors that you're familiar with have reprised their roles, their voices. So that is a huge part of the game, and you'll see references and jokes and places. But you're also going to see all new locations that have been written just for the game, and the adventure goes into some really crazy places and parodies of whole other video games. Really kind of a step up from other Simpsons games in the sense that we're for the first time really capturing the true sort of cartoon look of the show. So it's cel shaded, there's a line render, and we're doing a lot to really keep the characters looking the way that they would look on the TV show, but in 3D. We're going beyond, with a lot of, obviously, texture detail and richness, the shaders and visual effects. So I think the game has definitely its own video game look, but, it's a real departure from previous games in the sense that I think we're finally kind of capturing that look. It's also not a game that we're kind of, putting the Simpsons characters onto an existing game, a driving game or a wrestling game or a skateboarding game. This is a game that could only be the Simpsons game from the ground up. In order to keep these faces looking like they were hand-drawn and looking like, the way Homer really looks, we have to do a camera relative deformation of the mesh. And we're actually literally moving eyeballs and noses and mouths around inside that mesh as the player moves the camera around. It's very subtle and you don't notice it happening, but what you do notice is no matter where I put the camera, that sure looks like Homer. So, it's a big year for the Simpsons franchise as a whole, and we're really excited to be part of that. But the game's been in development for some time, and the concept for the game came from the writers of the show, and it is completely independent and original from the movie. The Simpsons is coming out this fall on PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, also on PlayStation 2 and the PSP. There's a version for the DS with a very special feature called Pet Homer that I think people are going to love, and also for the Wii. Pet Homer for the DS is a sort of Simpsons take on Nintendogs. Have you ever played that? Except this is Pet Homer in his tighty-whities on the sofa, and with the stylus you can feed him, you can tickle him, you can poke him. If he falls asleep, you got to wake him up. People come over to the house. There's cameos, and it's sort of a little mini simulation where you basically make your pet Homer happy, and it's just a lot of fun, super funny, and sort of custom created for the DS.
If you starve him, will he die?
He doesn't ever die, but he certainly gets very grumpy if he doesn't get his donuts. So it's a game that's literally sort of 25 years in the making, and I think gamers and Simpsons fans are just gonna laugh out loud. It's literally the funniest video game ever made.